Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, first of all, to everybody on this call. It's not taken lightly that you are here. You're committed to learn about global. And before I get started, I want to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Jasmine Contreras. I am a global team builder with eXp Realty. And as you can see, I am surrounded by amazing visionaries. And so today, I really wanted to bring you guys something that was going to fill your cup. And so for the next 5 weeks, we are going to be going on a global, you can call it a voyage. We're going to be going around the world. And, this is going to be one of many webinars that we're going to be having. I'm going to do just a quick little recap on what you guys are going to be getting yourselves into in the next 5 weeks. We're going to be interviewing, of course, the amazing Michael Valdes today, along with Brent Gove next week. We will also be bringing you EXP Mexico, EXP Dominican Republic, EXP Puerto Rico, EXP Dubai, South Africa, Spain, and our commercial director. So please, guys, stay tuned with us for the next 5 weeks. And I want to get this going, guys. And to get it going, I need to introduce you to the two amazing mentors and visionaries that helped me start my business and really allowed me to get myself out of the box that I was placing myself in, which I know a lot of us sometimes do. And when you hear the word global, you're kind of scratching your head like, wait, how can I do that? How can I do global, right? So guys, for us to go ahead and get started, I want to introduce you guys to Joseph Trujillo. Joseph is my team leader. He is my mentor. He is the one that brought me into this company. And, I know he's going to present himself. So I'm going to give you guys two reasons why I decided to join this man. The first reason is he is super committed and disciplined. If you know anything about a veteran, is they know their schedule and they know exactly what they got to do every single minute, hour, and day. So that to me spoke highly of him as a leader. And the second point was community. Every single Monday, Joseph makes it a point to bring his family together every single Monday and show us and pour into us. So with no further ado, guys, please meet Joseph Trujillo.
Hey, Jazz, thank you so much for that introduction. Super excited to be on this call, and I absolutely love everything about you, Jazz. You're definitely a trailblazer, and we're all very excited to see, how your journey alongside this amazing company of ours takes its own path. So, and again, a round of applause for you for putting this together. You're a visionary yourself, so we applaud you as well, my friend.
Thank you so, so much, Joseph. It's an honor. And honestly, it's just God's blessing to be surrounded by such amazing people. And so, guys, the next amazing man I want to introduce you to is Leo Robles. Leo is a firecracker. He definitely is the one that got me to think about international. And one of the biggest reasons why I decided to join Joseph and Leo's team was because of his intention. Leo is someone that is very intentional about his business. He does not play about his time. And so to be a strong visionary, you need to be intentional, not only with your clients, but with your community and with your agents, no matter how big or how small you are. So thank you, Leo, for showing that leadership. And the second reason why is because he loves his Hispanic community. I see how he gives back to Mexico, to Spain, and the list goes on and on. So I want to go ahead and introduce you guys all to Leo Robles.
Hey, thank you so much, Jasmine. Really appreciate you. Thank you for your leadership. I'm honored and grateful to be here today and excited about what we're going to be covering today, right? And especially because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, right? It's the beginning today. So how appropriate that we're doing this call today, talking about international. And, very excited also that, Michael, you joined us today on this conversation. We're excited to interview you and tell us, that way you can share a little bit more about what is happening on the global perspective. And I may be off by a country or two, but I think we're at 23, 24 countries now, right? And if you guys are wondering how EXP was able to grow internationally, is because of this man here, Michael Valdes. And he has a very, very powerful track record, which I will have him share here, just so you guys can have a context of where Michael has came from and how he's been able to do that so quickly here at EXP. And I may misquote, but I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to be opening up an additional, 70 countries hopefully here in the next decade or so, right? I don't know the timeline, but I'm just extremely grateful, Michael, that you're part of our organization and everything you have done. And let's kick it off, man. And I know you're currently, just so you guys know, Michael Valdes is currently the Chief Growth Officer for EXP. So let's kick it off, man. Welcome to this call. Thank you so much for being here.
Leo, thank you so much. Joseph, Jasmine, thank you for the invitation. It's really an honor to be here with all of you. You are wonderful leaders. As Leo said, today being the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month and having strong Latino and Latina leaders on this call together, it's a privilege to be here with you guys.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I guess we're going to be asking multiple questions, but I want to make sure that everybody understands your background. So if you can please just start sharing a little bit about your background, how long you've been in this industry, where you were at before, and how you got here to EXP.
Yeah, of course. So yes, my name is Michael Valdes. I'm the Chief Growth Officer for EXP. I came from Realty, now known as Anywhere. I was the Senior Vice President there for 15 years. So I did the global expansion for all 6 brands, which was Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Better Homes and Garden, and Corcoran. When I left Realty, it was roughly about 300,000 agents, and I oversaw 113 countries across the 6 brands. And then I met Glenn Sanford. And it was an amazing, amazing opportunity to do that, to understand what an EXP was. We started talking about what an EXP global could look like. And when I joined in 2020, we were in 3 countries. We were in Australia, the United Kingdom, and Canada. And in that short period of time, with the 3 years that I've been here, I've surrounded myself with an exceptional team on the global side and really been able to do exactly what you were saying. We were able to open up 21 countries for 24 total, 21 countries around the globe during a pandemic without ever getting on a plane. That actually has never been done in our industry before. Remember, we are one company. We are not a franchise. So it was not as though we just needed to find somebody who would write us a big check for a territory. We actually had to go in, create the infrastructure, create the corporation, find the infrastructure behind it, which was really a strong one, where you had to think about everything from banking, from legal, from accounting, and then create a team that was local. We also created a model that was a little different in every country so that we were able to be the local player with a global platform and be able to be competitive in every market in which we serve.
Love that. Love that. Joseph, you wanted to take on the next question?
I would absolutely love to. Michael, what you've already done here in the short amount of time, sir, speaks for itself. And I myself could never have imagined joining a company that was going to enable me to be able to have tentacles that would, go global. So thank you, and Glenn, for everything that you've done for us as agents. And I would like to see if you could touch on that. Like, what are some examples of some case examples of agents that have been able to introduce, maybe some of their key partners in other countries that have enabled them to build a business globally and just brought forth so much abundance? Can you share maybe 1 or 2 examples of that?
Of course, it's the idea of what you just said. When an agent comes to EXP, it's always the fact that the agent is first. They're the brand. We are just the platform by which they can continue to expand their business. So when you actually say to an agent who is the CEO of their own company, to say to them, I'm about to make you a global company in 24 countries. When they start to realize the power of what that means, people have really taken advantage of that. And being able to, what I always say, share this gift because agents always come back. And I know that the three of us certainly have experienced that, where agents come and tell you the stories of how this model has truly changed their lives, and things that you literally cannot put on a balance sheet because it is just so emotional and personal, and the reason why we do this every single day. You know, when I look at the growth that we've had, where we're just at about 89,000 agents right now across 24 countries, and we start thinking about this, we don't really look at this as agents that joined us. We look at this as lives touched. And it's a different perspective when you look at it in that manner. And, you know, Joseph, I remember when we opened up India, for example, and there was a very large team from one of our competitors, had about 300 agents in his team, not a brokerage, a team. And he was coming to join us, and he said that he wanted to speak with me before he joined. And his name was Dinesh. And he said to me, Michael, do you know why I want to join? He said, I've been in the business 35 years. I've been with 3 different brands. I've seen every model out there. He said, I saw the EXP model, and this model was built for humanity. And those words were so impactful for me. And he encompassed who we were in one sentence. And it was truly, it was that impactful for me. So this whole project of global expansion has been a true honor.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is so huge, so huge. And Leo, let me ask Michael a follow-up question to that. It's been my experience, sir, and I'm sure you've seen this as well, Michael, that the impact that this has on agents internationally can be said it could be more impactful than our agents that we have domestically. Would you agree?
I'll share another story with you, and that's such a true statement. I remember when I was on a panel, and I know that you're going to have Ismael from Mexico on your series here. I was on a panel with Ismael Gonzalez, who's our broker in Mexico, and he said that my country needed this. And I said, that's a huge statement. And I said, what does that mean? Break that down for me. And he said, because we don't have any offices, because we are a virtual company, that means that the superstar agent in Mexico City selling the $1 million properties there, or the agent in Cabo or PV selling the multi-million-dollar properties, and it has the same advantage as somebody who is in a rural area of Mexico where nobody would put up an office, but they have the same advantage of the same global platform because we're virtual. And I actually had never thought of that. And it levels the playing field where everyone is equal and they can build the same for themselves, for their families, for their communities. And that was the beauty of what we've built.
Wow. Yeah, beautiful, man. Thank you so much for sharing that, Michael. And obviously in this conversation, we have EXP agents, and I believe there might be some guests in here as well. So I think a lot of people are also kind of getting their brain around that. Like, how do I become an agent and I globalize my business, right? So why don't we dial in a little bit of that, like, mind shift and what people should be thinking about and how big can it really be? I mean, so I know that's still a loaded question, but what would you say to that?
So how big what can be their business?
Their business, right? You know, if I'm an agent, I'm in a market, I'm like in Rancho Cucamonga, California, I'm selling real estate. And now how do I incorporate this global vision and how do I apply it to my practice?
So, you know, it's always the thing. I was just at Inman last month, and I was speaking on the topic of recruitment. And I said, I don't like the word recruitment. And when we recruit, it's very transactional. So think about, you know, you recruit if you're a headhunter, you need somebody for a role. That's a one and done. You recruit for the armed services. You need a soldier for the army, one and done. What I say we should all do is attract, because that's relational. When we attract, it's because you're doing what you're doing and people want to follow you. And so there's a huge difference between recruiting and attracting. And I always say, if you attract and you just do what's the right thing, people will follow you. What we do with this is that somebody who's in Rancho Cucamonga selling their business and doing what they're doing now can be able to show what they're doing across 24 countries on a global platform. And so remember, if you're a part of our organization and you haven't ventured into the global because you just don't know how to start, this is a great start with the series, and thank the three of you for putting this together. But you have a lot of my leaders around the globe that are going to be speaking with you. And remember, you always want to serve. So all of these people that are around the globe, if you're selling in California, I am positive that people in India, people in Dubai, people in the UK would love to know what your markets are. When you start thinking about where you are, if you're selling real estate in California, where are your foreign buyers coming from? Go and do a presentation on what you have to offer for a sales meeting in Dubai, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone is here. Every leader in every country is here to serve all of our agents. So you reach out to them and say, I'd love to talk to you about, the Texas market in wherever we are. And talk about what you have to offer, or just talk about how you do business. They would love to hear from you. That's how you start to create a global network for yourself. And look, we all have the same platform, right? We are all on social. We can go out and start just talking and attracting. Everyone on social media has a global audience.
Yes.
All you have to do is attract.
100%. Very well said. And I'll just add one thing to this, because this has literally happened to me, right? Michael, if you remember, we were in Cabo, right? I put out a YouTube video explaining this model in Spanish of EXP, right? Because a lot of people were asking me about the model. Somebody found it in Spain, sent me over a message on WhatsApp, and I was there in Cabo. Michael was there in Cabo. We ended up having a conversation quickly, and I said, hey, I need you to help me to talk to somebody in Spain and talk about this opportunity. You ended up doing that, and the gentleman came over, and that led to them growing. I think we're at over 300 agents now in Spain from that one conversation. And it was a video on YouTube, right? So what you just said is so spot on with our platforms on YouTube, with our platforms on Instagram, Facebook. We're a global platform. So this is the direct alignment to just that. 100%.
Love it.
Yep.
And just to add to what we're talking about, Leo, I want to give you guys just a quick testimony. And, Michael, I do have a question after this for you. I have an agent in Mexico. At the time, she only lived in Mexico, and she was only getting 40% at her brokerage that she was originally at. Now, she came to EXP, lives in San Miguel de Allende, and she referred me a client in Calabasas. Okay, I'm in Cali. So this girl made over $4,000 US dollars, actually close to 5,000 in pesos in Mexico. So you guys have to see the opportunity. And, Michael, my next question to you is this: being a Hispanic man and being in a position where we can go to, God willing, one day, Kenya, and offer them this opportunity, just like we did to South Africa, because South Africa is booming, and so is Dubai. And just seeing these countries that may not have the same resources that we do, and we are now able to give them that. How does that feel for you? I mean, to be in such a great position like that.
It's humbling to really have those types of responses when you know that it's not just, imagine somebody saying that this model was made for humanity. We're a real estate company. It's crazy to start thinking about that, but this is truly the impact that we're making on a global scale. And when, you all know, when we go to events and people are in tears because of something that revenue share did for them, or they were able to retire themselves or their spouse, and really be able to have a different quality of life. That's a very, very humbling conversation to have. It allows you to continue to do this daily because it is an impact that's changing, and you feel it. You feel it. And it's just a beautiful thing.
I love that response. Thank you, Michael, so much. Do you guys have any more questions for Michael for today?
Joe, you wanted to take the
Awesome.
next one? Because I have like 10,
I
but
know.
go for it.
I have.
Yes.
I'm like,
Well, yeah, like-
go for it.
Actually, what I'd love, Michael, if you could expand, sir, just for, again, those of us that envision just a bigger and better, opportunity in real estate. Leo had mentioned we're at 24 countries, and you being the chief growth officer for this amazing company, can you kind of share with us what that vision looks like and what agent count looks like, and where we're at in market share, and just kind of painting the big picture for us in the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think that we're, the type of company that sort of does 10-year plans, because we're so cutting edge. We're currently the largest independent real estate company in the world. We will soon be the largest real estate company, period, in the world. We have a very, very aggressive growth plan, but we also want to make sure that we're growing with the right people and that we're growing in the right way. So we not only look at agent count and revenue and all that good stuff, but we also lead this company by NPS. So by a net promoter score, understanding that we are serving the needs of the company. Glenn Sanford, our founder, is the only CEO and founder in the real estate space that was ever an agent. No other real estate founder or leader on a CEO level was an agent. That's extraordinary. Now, when you start thinking about that from that perspective, we always get a different answer. And so that's really the most beautiful thing when you start thinking of it in that way. So the way that we've also grown growth internationally to date has been our own investment coming in. Obviously, with a turn in the market, we want to obviously be fiscally responsible as a publicly traded company. There's still a couple of countries that we're looking at that we may open on our own. But one of the things that we're looking at is also perhaps a partnership that we may do in a country in which we're not in yet, that might have a brokerage that has a large agent count that would like a now global brand by which to partner with. So we have several countries that we're looking at there to really continue the growth in a more creative way that would also be a faster way to growth also. So we're looking at both. We're looking at us continuing to open everything, and we're looking at perhaps a different model that will integrate for those countries that we may want someone that has more local expertise and a shared risk in the development of that.
I love that.
But with some of the countries that we've had thus far, just to give you an example, so in the United Kingdom, we're actually the 5th largest brokerage in the United Kingdom. In South Africa, we're ranked number 8. So we're over 1,000 agents in South Africa. That has been an incredible story. We're, if I'm not mistaken, the fastest growing real estate company in South Africa real estate history. And we are, and this is there's over 5,000 estate agencies in South Africa, and we're ranked number 8. So Andrew Wilson and his team have done exceptionally well, and that's in 3 years. So imagine that. It's really been incredible. You know, countries like France and Spain have done very, very well indeed. And so we continue to do so. You know, Jasmine, you mentioned Dubai. It's we opened in December. The very first sale that we did was $10.5 million in Dubai. So there is so much greatness that is still to happen here.
Yeah, we're just sounds
So
like we and
excited.
it sounds and it feels like we're just getting started up. And you know,
100%.
one additional thing I will say, Michael, and ask, because this is a question that we get asked a lot, is about new countries that we're entering into. And if you could just share with us a little bit of what people should be thinking about, or how they could go about, hey, what if I have somebody that I know with a large brokerage, or I want to expand my business in this new country that we're not part of? What would you say to that?
So two different questions there. So if there is something in which we already are existing, we have introduced a new program called Boost, which we introduced a couple of months ago now. We just this week signed our first Boost brokerage. And that was here in the United States. It was a company, an independent company of 20 years, the Michael Bean Group, based in the Northeast. They were over 4 states, had 600 plus agents, and did just under $2 billion of revenue. So a very large company that, so the Boost program is a program that allows independent agents that have a cultural alignment with us, and we have a form to fill out with cultural alignment. We will give them a financial incentive based on the revenue. We've got a whole bunch of parameters there. But it's a great opportunity for an independent brokerage to come in and be part of our global platform. I see a question in the chat asking where they can find more information on Boost. It's actually on our Join app. So if you go to join.exprealty.com, if you scroll down, there'll be information on Boost. All of the paperwork is there on how to go about doing that initial form. And then my domestic growth team will jump in and go through the process with those candidates. And the parameters in the United States are 50 agents or more and $100 million of total sales volume or more. In the outside of the United States, or outside of North America, really, because Canada has really very similar rules. Outside of North America, the Boost parameters change slightly. And so we'll take that on a country by country inquiry.
Love that. Awesome. Awesome. And for them to actually nominate a country, it's on your global partners site, correct? Is that the best
correct
one for them to go?
And that's expglobal.partners with an S.
Perfect. And I just dropped that into the chat for everybody. Thank you so much. And one more question for me, and then I'll hand it off to Joseph and Jazz. What are you most excited? We've asked you a couple questions. What are you most excited about for the future? I mean, I know that's, there could be a lot of different answers, but what are you most excited about Global EXP that's coming?
The continuation of this, touching people, having the ability to truly be able to make a difference, which we're doing now. And it's all about impact. It's the legacy that we leave, the legacy that we give others to leave. And it is something that this allows you to do. And it's an honor to sort of be a part of that.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't have a question, Michael. I just want to close out on my end and just say thank you. It's a very heartfelt thank you. I mean, you and what Glenn and this company has done is changed the trajectory of my life. I always say that, and it's a blessing to be able to pass that forward to everybody that gets in conversation with us. I'm really, really thankful for that, and I'm really excited for this global opportunity and all the other initiatives that you have and you're putting forth. So thank you for your time today.
And Joseph, really, thank you. And Jasmine and Leo, you know that what you do is so impactful for so many. To see your leadership that you do throughout the entire organization is really, so what you guys do for others, I'm humbled by. So I'm always here to support all of your efforts.
Thank you, my friend. God bless you, man. And thank you so much for taking this time to be here with us and breaking this down. And man, I'm excited for the future. I'm so excited, man. So thank you, man. Thank you so much for everything.
Guys, so very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Michael. One last
guys.
thing, actually, really
Yeah.
quickly. I have one last question. For our Latin America, what can we look forward to? Can we look forward to possibly working with Costa Rica? Can we see ourselves possibly going to Guatemala? What could you say to our Latin America family for
I
the
can say
future?
stay tuned.
Awesome. I like that. That's how to know.
Yeah, stay tuned. Exactly.
I love it.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Thank you
guys.
so much, Michael.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, yes.
Michael. Hey, Jazz, we'd love for you we still have everybody still on the call. The call's not over, guys. Hang tight really quick. Jazz is going to give us an overview of what to expect, and we'll do a quick closeout.
Yes. Let's do it.
Family. So thank you, first of all, for again staying until the end. And I hope that we did fill your cup today. I know you are probably asking yourself so many different questions, like how do I get started? Does this really work? Let me tell you that there are people in this company that have been with us for 5 years and they are no longer working. They've been with us for 4 years. They're no longer working their 9 to 5. They were able to leave. Some people are able to leave their 9 to 5 in just 6 months. So if you are somebody that is thinking about expanding, you're not sure how to expand, maybe you know somebody, maybe you know a lot of people around the world and you don't know how to connect the dots, join us in the next 5 weeks. And I just want to say thank you again, Joseph, Leo, for your leadership and for your time today.
Yes. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you so much. And, I'll say kind of like last words, guys, as well. Like, for everybody, well, thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Joe, for putting this together and co-hosting this. Number one, for everybody that is listening in, you got to think bigger than just your local market. And with the changing industry, I want you guys to really lean in on the opportunity and as an advisor to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way. If somebody asks you, do you do international? Say yes. Do you do commercial? Say yes. Do you do luxury? Say yes. You can authentically say that within our organization because our platform allows us to do that. And there's so many different stories that we have. I mean, there was one gentleman from Florida that referred somebody as a development opportunity in India, right? He just said yes. That's all he said. He's like, yeah, I actually have somebody. He didn't have somebody. You leverage our platform and found a developer in India an agent that specializes in developments, and his commission on a 25% referral was over $900,000. $900,000. So what you have as an opportunity in front of you, I just want you guys to get really clear that it's massive. If you guys already understand Instagram, Facebook, and all of the other platforms, you understand the opportunity within EXP because it gives you authentically an opportunity to capture business from everywhere, no borders whatsoever. And the series that we have coming up for you guys, we're going to be able to answer more specific questions. I know you got questions about Mexico and other countries. We're actually going to be bringing the presidents in. That way they can actually share from their perspective what they see, where they're going, and how to get involved even further for you to catapult your business. So that's what I wanted to add, to the conversation, man. And Joseph, I don't know if there's any last words, or Jazz, any last words you want to say, but that's what I wanted to add to the conversation.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to Jazz. I just want to echo what you're saying, Leo. Such an amazing opportunity, and time and opportunity, right? And so, especially in times where there's challenges, I would encourage everybody. The way that business is conducted now is slightly different. It's not everybody's just a lead. There's a conversation about human connections, and here's an opportunity where those connections can be capitalized and monetized in your business. So that way we're helping people around the globe create something bigger and better for themselves, not just in business, but in their personal lives. And each and every one of you on this call, and each and every one of you that will listen to this, has an opportunity to create that impact. So it's a huge, huge blessing. So that's
Yes.
all I want to share.
100%. 100%.
And just to close it out, fam, don't play about yourself. That's all I have to tell you. Do not play about you, because you were not born into this world just to be ordinary. So be extraordinary, do something that's going to scare you a little bit. And we can't wait to see you guys next Friday.
Who's on next
Yeah.
Friday? Who's on next Friday?
Brand
Let's go.
Our
Yeah, Brand Go.
energy, our everything.
Yeah.
He's so awesome.
Tell them
So
about Brent. Leo, tell them who's Brent.
Yeah, so guys, so you guys know, Brent Gove has he's a leader of leaders. I mean, he is in
Amazing.
every single state and every single country. So if you want to hear from somebody that has literally built his company in every state and every single country with an EXP, this is the man. He's going to bring that fire. This conversation is going to be next level. One last thing that I'll say as a homework assignment, guys, for everybody that is in here, I want you guys to go on social media and tell everybody that you're a global real estate professional, because just like Jasmine started off this conversation with, and she said that she attracted an agent, and then that agent ended up sending her a referral in Calabasas. So you guys got to think about that, right? Like, not only are you expanding, but you're attracting business back into your local marketplace. So that's the type of opportunity. So that's my request to everybody in this call today. Take some action. Tell everybody that you're a global real estate agent. Make a video about it. That way you can attract new business to yourself. And next week with Brent Gove, you guys are going to be beyond inspired. It's going to be lit. So let's go.
I'm excited.
All right. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Great call,
Appreciate
family.
you
Have a
guys.
great day.
All right. Thank you, guys. Peace.